Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up today on the young and the restless Michael gives. Nick and Sharon good news. Nick gives Chelsea advice and Adam seeks reassurance. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. Adam and Chelsea walk into the old ranch, their new home, and she asks if he's sure he wants to do this now. His father was shot last night. Adam says his old man is a warrior. Chelsea tells him it's okay to admit that it was scary and focus on that and not the move. Adam wants the three of them to get settled so they own the property when Victor gets home from the hospital. Chelsea looks around and Adam says, "I know it's a lot." He tells her she can redecorate. She jokes, maybe just a little sage. They share a laugh. Adam looks at the end for Newman in the window. He never imagined that place would be his with Nick, Victoria, and Abby to carry on the legacy. Chelsea says, "Welcome home." Adam wants Chelsea to feel at home there, but she thinks it will take time to feel comfortable. She wants a room close to Connor and one that's not so big at echoes. Adam looks at Victor's chessboard. She reminds him his dad is safe now, and he doesn't have to worry. Adam says his father took a bullet for Nikki and survived. Someday he won't be in this world. When that day comes, he doesn't know if he'll be ready for it. What happened scared the hell out of him, but it also made him proud. Chelsea says it's the same way he'd do anything to protect Connor. Adam says, "Or you." Victoria enters the tack house and Claire asks about her grandfather. She says he's resting comfortably after surgery and will recover. He'll be home soon. Claire gasps. He could have died. He jumped in front of Nikki and could have died. That's how much he loves her. Victoria tells her they're safe now, and so are you. Kyle knocks, and Claire lets him in. She tells him last night was horrible. He hugs her. At Crimson Lights, Nick updates Sharon that Victor came through surgery great. They ran about Ann and Jordan teaming up. Nick says Annan's in the more because his dad beat him. Now those two can't hurt anyone else. Sharon is glad Maria and Claire are safe now. Nick says Jordan and Ian died knowing they lost everything. Sharon is sure Mariah will flourish now that he's gone. It will just take time. Nick's sure the healing will be easier now that they're gone. Just then, Michael comes in. He has news about the murder charges against Sharon. Michael tells Sharon and Nick that the charges against her are being dropped. Daniel walks in as Michael declares, "You're cleared of everything." He wants to know what's going on. Sharon tells Daniel there's been a confession in Heather's case. "Do you remember hearing about Ion Ward?" Daniel sits. He says his mother told him about Ward's history with Nikki and Paul. Nick says he worked the system and got out of jail. Sharon tells him he's the one who killed Heather. Daniel can't understand this. They explained that he wanted to remove Sharon from Maria's life so she would turn to him. He was working with Jordan, who had come back for Claire. Nick says they both died last night. Sharon was their first victim starting several months ago. It breaks her heart that Heather lost her life, and she is so sorry for her part in any of it. Daniel can't understand why Ian would confess. Michael thinks maybe he wanted to confess his sins before meeting his maker. Nick thinks he wanted to rub it in their faces. Jordan did the same thing. Daniel wonders how he'll tell Paul this. Sharon is sure he may never forgive her. This was about her and Mariah, not about Heather. She's not guilty, but she's still part of the cause. Nick says she's not responsible. Sharon argues she's guilty of framing Daniel. Daniel agrees she is. He won't let her off the hook for that. Nick acknowledges to Daniel that none of this will lessen his pain, but as far as Sharon is concerned, Daniel points out that she dumped Heather's body in the river, hid bloody towels in his apartment, and lied that he and Heather fought. Nick says she was drugged, which caused her to spin out and alienate people. He reminds Daniel that even he noticed she wasn't acting like herself. Michael points out if this had go-tone to trial, Sharon would have been found not guilty. Nick says Heather deserves justice and peace with Ian and Jordan dead. Hopefully they can get closer to that. Daniel is going to need a little more time. Michael steps away to take a call. Nick tells Daniel that Victor was shot fighting Ion Ward. He has to go at the hospital. Daniel assures him he won't freak out on Sharon, he's just frustrated and sad. The anger isn't at Sharon anymore. Nick tells him, "You're a good man." Sharon thanks Daniel for hearing them out. She knows she has no right to ask him for anything, but she'll do anything she can to make it up to him and Lucy for what they've been through, and will hope one day that he will forgive her. At the TCH house, Victoria urges Claire and Kyle to sit down and talk and heads upstairs before a shower before she goes back to the hospital. Kyle asks who's in the hospital. Victoria says Claire will explain. They make their way to the sofa, and she tells him Jordan came back. She got out of prison and came back for her. Kyle wants to go get Harrison. Claire promises he's safe. She says Jordan had helped getting out of prison from Mayan Ward. He wanted back in Maria's life, so they shared a common goal. Kyle asks if she's okay. She says all in one piece. Kyle asks if they're locked up again. Claire says they're both dead. Kyle tells Claire he's sorry for what Jordan put her through. He learns her aunt took poison and Ion shot at Nikki and hid. Victor took the bullet. They struggled over the gun and Ion was shot and died. Kyle marvels that she went through all of that, and he had no idea. CLA says even knowing Jordan is dead, the worry is still there. Kyle's sure it will get better over time. He asks how she got the poison. Did she bring it there? CLA did. Jordan think you would be the one to die last night. CLA thinks the poison was her insurance policy. Kyle wonders how she could think she could win her back. CLA thinks she spent time in prison convincing herself she belonged with her and not her family. When she saw her in town, she realized everyone she cared about was in trouble again. She told her she missed her ENT, trapped in a world that would never be hers. It was what she wanted to hear. She didn't want her to bolt or do more damage. Kyle marvels that she took all of that on her shoulders. You don't have to be so stoic. Claire says her aunt can never hurt them again. Kyle tells her she's incredible. She asks him to hold her the ranch. Adam tells Chelsea he didn't say he'd take a bullet for her to make her react. It's simply the truth. Chelsea tells him he and Victor have more in common than he thinks. It's a good thing. Victor loves his family. Chelsea and Adam enthuse about both living with Connor. Adam says he should go to the hospital, and they make plans to meet up later. Just then Nick walks in and barks. Adam muses that they seem to have an open door policy. Nick says he knocked. Nikki asked him to pick up stuff to take to their dad. In the hospital he learns that Chelsea is moving in, and she makes it clear it's not a reunion. Adam steps out to take a call, and Nick lets Chelsea know he's concerned about her living in close proximity with her ex. Chelsea has made her feelings clear to Adam. Nick says his brother knows what he wants, and now he thinks it's within reach. Chelsea tells Nick this isn't about Adam or romance. She's set firm boundaries. If he crosses the line, she'll let him know. Nick's always happy to help her. Adam reappears, and they claim they've been discussing the suites in the house. Chelsea urges Adam to go to the hospital with Nick and send Victor her best. At Crimson Lights, Daniel tells Sharon that Heather is gone, and everything he thought about how it happened is gone too. It was because someone wanted to get her. Sharon talks about recalling the hand on her shoulder in hypnosis. She wishes she had never gone to his apartment that night. She would do anything for things to have been different. Daniel says me too, Shar. He tells her again that he'll need a little more time and walks out. At the Tacy house, Claire thanks Kyle for not walking away. Her family can be a lot. Kyle says Jordan's not her family, and he respects the huge amount of love in the Newman family. He respects her too and asks if there is something she left out or is afraid to tell him. CLA says she went through it with her mother and grandmother, and they agreed to let it be. She has to honor their wishes. Kyle says If she changes her mind, he's there to listen. CLA is still trying to get her mind around Jordan's death being real. She can never hurt anyone again. They cheers to that with their teacups. Michael joins Sharon at Crimson Lakes and tells her it's settled. She is far away. It doesn't hear him. He reiterates that the documents are signed and she's free and clear. She questions if she deserves that. Michael tells her she was a victim. I am put her through hell. She brought that hell to Dano's family. The lawyer insists it wasn't her fault. She thanks him for taking her case. There was one big reason for him not to do it. Michael says Phyllis survived, and he thinks their friendship will too. He asked Sharon to give herself some time to heal and process what Ward put her through. Sharon's just worried about Daniel. How is he supposed to move on now that he can't confront the person responsible? There's no closure for him. With a senseless loss like this, it never ever leaves you. It keeps coming back to break your heart all over again. I don't.